Welcome back to the product video sessions, and we will go into the Paperboy plan again in this phase. Open the guidance tab, and here you have the method again that we follow: discover, prototype, adopt. In the previous session we have shown to you how you can do your discovery of the business model by making use of a business model canvas, for instance of Alexander Osterwalder. Today we will show you how, based on such a canvas, you can generate a model for prototyping. Of course, you can still enter it by hand, as we have seen in earlier, even earlier sessions. But today we will show you how you can generate the content for a business model for prototyping based on the discovery model. For that purpose, we will first create a business model for you as a prototype model. Call it newspaper route. Newspaper route, which is a business model. And we have shown all of that to you in earlier sessions. Okay, but the only thing you need to remember now and to believe is this is an empty business model. When you turn it around, it does not have any elements. Okay? Go back to, it's just empty. There's no content at all. Go back to here. Now we go into the already created business model canvas from the previous session. And we will walk all these slips, and based on these slips we will now generate target elements into that empty business model. Before we do that, we first have to link the business model to this canvas. Scroll down a little bit, you see the button Link Business Model. You select the business model, newspaper round, and now it's linked. By the way, you can see that when you click this gray zone on this splitter. Go back, you see linked business model, newspaper route. Okay? Click that away. Okay. Yep. And first, before we start mapping these, you need to see the big difference between a model like this and a model like they're going to fill, the prototype model. A prototype model is structured. That means that the elements are not just a collection of elements, but they are interrelated in meaningful ways. To make these ways in which they are related meaningful, you have to map them in a certain sequence. Not strictly, you have some degree of freedom, but you cannot do it in any sequence. There is some sort of logical sequence, and we will follow that. And as we follow it, you will start understanding why that is a logical sequence. Okay? You can start in several places, but let us just start with mapping first the customer relationship, newspaper network. And newspaper network, click create mapping, and you map to, and you have, stop here, you need to know that most of the elements here have only one type of target element in our structured business model. There are a few that have more options, and this one is the one that has the most options, 5 options or so. And why is that? Now you can imagine that the business model canvas of Alexander Osterwalder has not been invented by us, but by Alexander Osterwalder. We map it to our logic. That means that the meaning of certain elements is sometimes not one-to-one related to meaning of an element on our side, but sometimes you have some options. They all make sense, but you decide. So for instance, here you say customer relationship, we map on, click this drop down, we map on participant network, a participant network. Okay, in the structured business model. Click next. Okay, now we start filling this in. This is coming from the slip, the name of the slip, my business. Okay, this is the owner of the business model, which should be the schoolboy. Remember, we talked about the Paperboy case. Schoolboy, that's the participant that owns the business model, called My Business in our app, is in the role of Paperboy. Paperboy. So role information is very important part of relationship information that we're going to add while mapping, right? Complete. Okay. Complete this. And when you scroll down a little bit, yeah, you see in this table that over here, the third and fourth column are filled in. The newspaper network, in the dimension customer relationships, target element is newspaper network of type participant network. We will show you at the end, after having mapped all of these, how it landed in the structured business model itself, no longer empty then. But we will first continue. So let's now map the readers. And over here you have only one option, so it goes more straight. Okay, create mapping, you go straight here. Readers is a type market segment. That's okay. It's a market segment. Is involved in participant network. The network that you have just created. Just enter something. Type a character. Yeah, newspaper network. You see? Stop here, stop here. Now you see that there's an implied sequence. You could have another sequence, but over here you benefit from already earlier entered elements and mapped elements. You see? Okay, is in a role, readers is in a role of subscriber. Yeah? As a reader you are a role of subscriber. Okay, complete. Complete. Similarly, we can map on the other side a key partner. Create mapping. Yeah, it doesn't matter. We are not going to analyze a business model for that guy himself. Could be done, but we don't do it or leave it as market segment. The same network, select here. Yeah, newspaper network is in a role of publisher. Let's say publisher. Okay, complete. Yeah, complete. Now let's go to value proposition. We know already value propositions. Let's map the newspaper. Create mapping. Newspaper on the map is provided a schoolboy in the role of select a role. You can see here we have already entered some stuff. Here you benefit from it. A logical sequence. Role of Paperboy. The recipient is here the readers in the role of subscriber. Okay, complete. You feel the relationship content growing here while mapping. Okay, where are we? Value proposition done. Now what do we need to do in order to make these value propositions real? We do the activities, we map them, create mapping. Scale around that in order to pursue the newspaper on the map value proposition, select it. Newspaper on the map selected is performed by the schoolboy in the role of, yes, that's good, a schoolboy in the role of Paperboy. Complete. Complete. And we do the other one also in similar ways. Execute around. Right. Create mapping. Execute around. Newspaper on the map is pursuing the same value proposition. Schoolboy in the role of same Paperboy. Could have been other role as well, but here we do that because we want to end at the same as you have seen in earlier sessions. Okay. He needs some resources, so click bicycle. Create mapping. Bicycle is a resource, yes, and it is going to use by execute round. Say execute round. It is an activity already mapped, right? Complete. Complete, and we do route as well. Create mapping, resource to the same activity, execute route. We could do both activities, but for now we select one. Okay. Complete. Now we are almost done. We now go to revenue streams, hourly revenue. Okay, stop here. Wait a while. Say you would take a cup of coffee, and we go away, come back and say, okay, I need to map still a few elements. Which ones? Where did I stop when I left? Go up here. Yeah, you don't know. You have to go into all of them. For this purpose, you can also start mapping straight from this table because you see there are only 2 rows not yet mapped. So select, for instance, where is it? Hourly revenue. Create mapping. Here, click plan value. Why do we do that? Because this one we want to see as a steering value at the level of the plan itself. Okay, complete. Okay, so now we are done now with mapping so far. Yeah, there is one more element, but we will revisit that in a next video. Let's now go into the prototype models and see where it ended up. You see here there are elements. It's now filled, right? So when we go into the definition of it, you see here when you select, for instance, on Participants tab, this network, you see here that in this participant network, my business, the owner of the business model, schoolboy in the role of Paperboy, there's a customer readers in the role of subscriber, partners, newspaper role of publisher. It's there. Value propositions. Maybe you select the one. Here is the value proposition. Newspaper on the mat. So who, schoolboy in the role of Paperboy, offers newspaper on the mat to readers in the role of subscriber. That was what we have specified, right? Go to activities. Go to the table. Select this one. You see here that this newspaper on the mat value proposition is pursued by Two activities. That's what? Execute a round, scale a round, performed by a schoolboy in the role of paperboy. Yes, go up again. Competencies. Select this one. You see here that activity execute round, as performed by a schoolboy in a role of paperboy, uses bicycle and route as competencies. So all of the stuff is here now, and you are ready to take it from here further.